Hi, I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, but also try to address some stuff that I really consider interesting in the documentary. It's interesting to me that the Western world, after exploiting other countries of the natural resources, exploiting them of the labor, enslaving them in their own country, would turn around and call them third world country uncivilized group of people and criticize them after imposing such unthinkable lifestyle on them. I got very emotional watching this video, as you can see from my reaction still. And all I could think about is that what if this country were allowed their own culture? Well, maybe just giving back 10% or 20% of the resources stolen from them. Would they actually be in such horrible living conditions today? Would it? So, you know, when people sit there and talk about trying to help Africa, trying to carry relief, I like the parable that says you need to teach a man to fish and not give him fish. The people in this country were never taught to fish. They were never taught to produce, to be able to sustain their own countries. They were taught to work for the master. They were taught to work for free or little or nothing. They were taught to live in deplorable condition and not complain. So then what is poverty? Poverty is not, to me, it's not being able to provide for your essential daily living. And I'm gonna put a picture of what I see poverty as. I think there's two kinds of poverty. The visible poverty that everybody see and go, oh, poor thing. And those that people don't get to see. How about those who live in the car and don't tell you they're poor? How about people like the family on the other video clip? How about people here in America that have 10 people or more living in a single family housing unit, or probably a one bedroom because they can't afford to go out? Those are poverty that people don't see. How about the working poor? The poverty that you and I work day and night but can barely sustain our life. That's poverty. So then what is worth? Worth is basically people being having surplus and then knowing what to do with it, can provide for the needs, the wants, and still have things to waste. Billionaires of America, billionaires of the world, lavishing money because they can. That's what. Um, quick. I think that poverty is the byproduct of what? Because simply the reason the rich get richer and the poor get poorer is that the rich exploit what they can exploit from the poor to add to what they can get. We cannot escape the inequality. However, we can lower the margin that exists between the rich and the poor. As you can see nowadays, that the rich is way richer, and the poor is just in the slum. in America that had this little middle point that you can reach and feel nice and snug. You don't feel poor, and you don't feel I'm rich, but that you're able to live a decent life. It's basically vanishing. The middle class of America is basically gone. So we can definitely decrease the margin between wealth and poverty. What force does in creating wealth and poverty is that force give the upper hand to the rich to be able to deprive or basically exploit the poor. In so doing, making the rich richer and making the poor poorer. Natural resources give people that security to know that they can sustain themselves. So if you take that away from them, you basically send them to doom. This is how I see it.